We must internalize the flatulation of the matter by transmitting the effervescence of the Indonesian proximity in order to further segregate the crux of my venereal infection. Now, if I may retain my liquids here for one moment, I'd like to continue the redundance of my quote-unquote intestinal tract. See, because to preclude on the issue of world domination would only circumvent, circumcise the revelation that reflects the aphrodisiac symptoms which now perpetrates the Jericho's activation.
Good morning, you guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to all of my subscribers and those who watch my videos. Hit the thumbs up, hit the thumbs down, comment after it's over. Y'all know how I do. We got another one, y'all. We got another one. You know, I was in these YouTube streets last night. And, whew, Lord, Jesus Christ. We got to talk about it. We got to talk about it. We got to talk about it. I was looking at some other content regarding Corey Holcomb and Anton Daniels. And I just came across this young man's video. And his name is CEO. And I see he is a saint and sinner member. And I got triggered, y'all. I got triggered. I keep it 100. I got triggered because, he was having a dialogue with a man. And I say dialogue because with this young man, you can't get in a word. He doesn't realize this man is operating in the unconscious, you guys. Operating in the unconscious because he is a walking hypocrite and he does not realize it. So I'm not going to be on here long, because I do have other things to do. And yes, you will hear my smoke alarm in the background chirping because, my ceilings are very tall. And yeah, it's gonna take me a minute. It's on my list, y'all. It's on my list. But y'all know that's me. Even, hey, it is what it is. But it's on my list. So anyhow, this young man is a walking contradiction. Very disrespectful. Very, very disrespectful. And like I said, operating on the unconscious. Because the things he is pointing out in others, you can see it all over him. Like, dude, it's not even all over you only. It's all over you and even in you. So anyway, I got triggered. He said something to the effect of, when women talk, they're only babbling. So I said, okay. Yeah, we got another disrespectful one. See, you guys, the youth are so far removed from reality due to lack of proper parenting, right? We all know we just, like I said, we're going to keep it 100. It's poor parenting. Just because you raise a child to the age of 18 and you appear to have done a fabulous job, it all that facade disappears as soon as your child opens their mouth. As soon as your grown child opens their mouth, you can tell with the child that the mother operated either in her femininity only, or when she operated in her feminine and her masculine when it was necessary. Because, see, as a single parent, you have to be in tune with your duality of feminine and masculine. Because as a single parent, you have to display both of the sexes or both of those types of energies in order to maintain total total control over the environment, and to also teach that to your children. You have to teach duality in your children. You cannot teach a woman just to a girl child just to be in her feminine, submissive, and different things of that nature, because she gonna get fucked up and down the streets. Okay, you cannot teach a boy just to act in his masculine, because he gonna get beat up all up and down the street. And we know what these two these two energies act when they're only individual, when they haven't been taught both. So when, as I'm listening to this young man speak, he sounds intelligent, right? I'm not going to take that away from him. He sounds intelligent, but he's so disrespectful to where you can't help but say, "We know your mother. We know your mom was a single mom." Um, and we know we could kind of say, like, I don't know the young man, I don't know his mother, I don't know, but I'm going off of all that we usually have to go off of, and that's the behavior of the child, right? That's the behavior of the child. When you have children who are out here misbehaving, we can tell it's poor parenting. If you have a child out here that misbehaves and is able to be corrected, you know that there's proper parenting in the home, because we're not going to grow up without making any types of mistakes. We have to be able to our children have to be able to accept correction, because this is what they receive at home. So I was, listen, I mean, let's just get into it, and let's just prove my point, okay? Because y'all know I don't just, I don't come on here unless I really have something to talk about, because a lot of the stuff people just on here, they just on here every day talking, making content, trying to get paid. You know what I'm saying? They get their little $50 per thousand visits. I mean, yeah, per thousand visits to their channel. And they're just out here putting out all kind of content, trying to go viral, saying anything, gossiping, and it's just a bucket of shit out here. So anyway, let's go. Let's share. This, I only got to 17 minutes and 5 seconds, because I don't even need to hear anymore to bring this young man to consciousness. Now, let me see. So if so let me do this first. Let me do this first. Let me do this first. Let me stop sharing. I'm going to go back to the initial video that I saw of him. And I am going to read you guys a comment that I mean, man, I'm going to read you guys a comment I wrote regarding the video. And then I'm going to yeah, hold on. I don't want us to play really, really quick. I gotta hurry up, y'all, because I'm over here fooling around, and I got places to go, people to see. Okay, so this was the initial video that I saw last night. And CEO, go, if you like his content, go over there and subscribe. I ain't no hater. But I want to bring to this young man's attention, whether he sees it or not, whether it get passed on or not, who knows? Because I ain't nobody. I'm just a little here and there content creator. I'm not trying to make it a career, right? So he has his title, checking an old head for disrespecting me live on air. First of all, these young people don't know what respect is. If every second word of a sentence you feel disrespected. So anyway, let's go. Um, here we go.
And you can engage as well. Go ahead, talk to me, boss.
So, peace of saints. So I saw this clip while I was at work, and then I didn't watch.
We're gonna skip that.
You just kept saying it. Now
We're gonna
you
skip
trying to get
that.
some people that's
We're gonna skip that.
either of them are necessary.
We're gonna skip that. We're gonna skip that.
Can miss me with
We're gonna skip that.
When you can read a man's body, Anton Daniel.
Okay, so he was saying Anton was scared because his experience as an older gentleman, he can tell. And so then Ant comes in with his psychobabble, saying how no, it ain't right. But anyway, let's listen, because I don't want to misquote anybody. I don't want to misquote the scene. So let's go. Let me turn it up.
He was scared. The young man don't understand. And he got time. He's only 28. I'm 39. When you can read a man's body language, especially in conflict, he was absolutely scared.
Let me,
And like I
let me,
said,
let me respond to you. Can I respond to you?
hold on, just a second.
Okay, so cut off number one. Let me respond to you. He hasn't even heard the whole thing. The man is not being disrespectful. The man is not trying to put him down. The man is simply stating his opinion. I think he could have left out the part where the young man doesn't understand. He's only 28. I'm 39. He still got time to grow, this, that, and the third. Could be true, could not be true. However, but this is what set young Buck off. And see, he's emotional. He functions in emotionality, so or emotionalism. So he didn't want to immediately. He was triggered, and his brain just shut off from receiving any messages at this point. All he had was messages to give. But let's go.
Just a second. I just want to give you this little lesson.
For sure.
And
For
that,
sure.
and that
You're not. I'm gonna listen to you, but respectfully, you're not giving me no.
See, respectfully, you're not giving me no lesson. How would you know that if you aren't listening? How would you know that if you don't take the time to listen? And that's probably what the trouble your mama had with you, is you wouldn't listen.
Listen, but I'm gonna go ahead and let you finish though.
All right, respect. It takes a little bit more experience to read body language, especially when somebody's scared. Anton was moving real bitchy. He's moving in conflict. He was moving like a woman. And like I said, it takes maturity and time to really realize that. And I digress.
And he was absolutely right. Go back to the video of Anton Daniels and Corey Holcomb. When Corey got up and stood so close to Anton, a not scared man would have immediately rose to his feet and looked the man eye to eye. Nigga, what's up? That is not what Anton Daniels did. He was scared. He didn't know how to react in that immediate moment. And how you know he was scared was because when Corey Holcomb got in his face while he was sitting down, Anton Daniels didn't even scoot back to look at Corey in the eyes. He was looking at Corey's boobs in the chest, stuck like a deer in headlights, afraid to move his head. He was afraid to make one fucking single move. Corey Holcomb got up like he pulled a gun on him and said, nigga, make one move. Anton Daniels was stuck. So see, when you have reached a certain age, a certain level of maturity, and you are actually using your brain properly, and you can observe body language and different things of that nature, you would have seen that, right? There's no way that a man not in fear would be allowing a man that close to him and then not to even take a couple scoots back to look him up in his face to get some socking room. You can't do shit to a man that close to you except hug him. Okay, so Anton didn't back up. Let me back up and put some space in between me and him, just in case I have to haul off on this nigga. He didn't do that. He was scared. He was scared to move. The older gentleman was right. Listen, young buck, you might learn something. But here we go.
Let me ask you a question. Do you know me?
Not at all.
Do you know where I'm from?
That's all. That's irrelevant.
It's a simple question. I was quiet when you were speaking. I'm asking you direct questions. We men, right? Do you know me?
No,
you weren't quiet when he was speaking. He was speaking and you interrupted several times.
Do you know where I'm from?
Absolutely not.
Do you know anything that I've been through or anything that I've seen in my life?
But I have more experience than you.
I didn't ask you that. I asked you a simple question. You're not answering the question.
No.
All right, let me ask you another question. How old was Fred Hampton when he was one of the main people in the Black Panther Party?
He was very young. I forget.
I didn't ask you that. I asked you how old he was. Do you know?
I don't know.
He was 19 years old. You should know that. He was 19. You should know that because since you older than me. How old was Tupac when he passed away?
But it's out of context.
I didn't ask you that. How old was Tupac when he passed away?
22, 20.
He was 25. You should know that because that was your generation and you're older than me.
No, he shouldn't know that, because if those are not the things that interested him, who gives a fuck? Like, I always say I'm interested in learning anything, but there are some things I'm just not fucking interested in learning. And if that is what you're interested in learning, of course you're going to be well versed on it. But me personally, Playboy, I don't give a fuck because it just never crossed my mind. Now, if it happens to be what I'm interested in at the time, then of course I would know about it. Right? So no, you can't always base that on, do you know how old so-and-so was? Who gives a flying fuck? Was so-and-so paying my goddamn bills? Maybe I would know the age that so-and-so died if he was paying my fucking bills, if his death made a significant impact on my life, or if he was something significant in my life, or if the situation was something significant in my life. If I was a part of it, then I would probably know these facts. But if not, who gives a flying fuck? Why would you expect me to know some shit like that just because it was my generation? They vanilla ice cream was my generation, but do I know all the fucking ingredients in it? Hell fucking no. I just recently, probably like 5 years ago, learned that beef stroganoff is a meal from Germany. Nigga, do you know that? That's like asking him, do you know that? Or that's like, asking me some shit of his generation, some random shit from his generation. Nigga, do you know that? Hell, fuck no, I don't know that. Why would I know that? It didn't interest me. Right? So, first of all, your argument is stupid. If you knew it was Tupac was your generation. What the fuck? Tupac didn't pay nobody's motherfucking bills. We know he got accused of great because he's our era. We know he put out some good music. We know his auntie died in Cuba. You know what I'm saying? We know a lot of shit about our era. But I mean, if you talk about how old the nigga is, nigga, I don't know. That ain't my motherfucking son. Like, what the fuck? So the argument is stupid to begin with. But anyway, I think I need to go back. So let me let this finish. Then I'm gonna go back.
I'm gonna ask you another question. How old do you think I am? Or no, not how old do you think I am? How old do you think Martin Luther King was when he led the Montgomery bus boycott?
I don't know.
You should know that. You older than me. He was 26 years old. So let's not talk about age, maturity, intelligence, none of that. You don't know me. You don't know where I'm from or any of that. And those are the people that's from your generation that you should know because you're older than me, mister. I have more maturity. You don't know me. So I think that a lot of things that people in your generation do, not all of y'all, it's the difference between OGs and old niggas that just like to talk. And I think that y'all try to wiggle your way in to try to talk to somebody that's younger than y'all, and y'all make an assumption because you just don't.
First of all, young man, an OG is an original gangster. Ask an original gangster how old Tupac was when he died. Nigga, I don't know. But nigga, I can tell you when my little homie was put on a set. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Original gangster. OG is original. It's about gangsterism. Nigga, I don't know. I don't know how old the fuck Tupac was, but I can tell you how much a pound of weed costs, nigga. Like, what the fuck? I can tell you how much 3 kilos of cocaine costs, nigga. Who gives a fuck how old Tupac was and who gives a fuck how old Martin Luther King was and who gives a fuck how old Huey P. Newton and all them motherfuckers was, because they all failed miserably. They all failed miserably. So what the fuck are you talking about? They was young and dumb and they all failed miserably. Right? But we're gonna get into that.
Like what I'm saying, and you disagree. And I think it's very disrespectful that y'all generation does that when y'all are the same people who revere y'all own generation that was young and people that was doing things that's way more important than us reacting to Corey Holcomb and Anton Daniels conversation. Fred Hampton was 19 doing stuff that none of us could even think of. So let's not talk about age and how that equates to maturity, intelligence, or any of that, because you don't know me and I don't know you. So I'm asking you these questions to give you a lesson. And that's all I got to say.
Okay, can I respond to that?
Absolutely.
I mean, you know, I expect that from a young fiery brother like you, because I was 28 and I was exactly like that.
No, you wasn't. You wasn't exactly like.
See, look at it, cutting them off. I'm done with that. Cutting them off. You didn't even let the man finish his comment. You just cut him off because you're disrespectful and you do not realize it. And this is why I called it a monologue instead of a dialogue, because a dialogue is two people back and forth. A monologue is just one motherfucker talking and don't want to listen. So anyway, like I said, cut him off, disrespectful. But let's go back, because this is what triggered me.
Saints. So I saw that Corey gave him time to never disrespected white. Called him out on that. That's when you just kept saying it. Now, and he showed you respect. Say, oh, I'm on your.
What's going on? Peace to the Saints. I'm gonna be quick because I know you're trying to get some people that's on the other side of it. Anybody that's up here talking about Anton told him to go outside, what you don't know, Marquette, because you didn't get to that point yet, Anton has security with him. So I don't want to hear nobody talking about, thank you, exactly. So all you people that's in the chat talking about some Corey back down, but first of all, let me just say this. I don't think either of them are necessarily scared of each other, right? I'm 28 years old, so a lot of them, I think Anton in his 40s and I think Corey in his 50s. I don't think either of them are necessarily scared of each other, but I don't think either of them necessarily wanted to fight. But if it go down, it go down. But at the end of the day, all that let's go outside talk. If I'm getting into a Marquette and Marquette came to my show by himself and I'm trying to get tough with Marquette and I say go outside and my 6'7", 310 pound security guard is there, everybody tough with a security guard. That's all I want to say. So y'all can miss me with that whole Corey got punked. Man, he had a security guard. I don't want to hear that. Appreciate you though. That's all I got to say.
Settled.
Much love to you. Peace to the Saints.
Peace to the Saints.
Now, the young brother, the 28-year-old, he redeemed himself, but I do say that.
Okay, I gotta go.
You can say anything, but don't make a claim and establish a point when you don't know me. That's all I'm asking. Give me that respect, because I'm gonna give you that respect, because I haven't made no claim on you. I'm just going off of your behavior.
The respect is mutual. Now, from an older man like me, from an OG like me, we got to, I think Imperial kind of agree with me. There are things that we can.
Let me stop, because they go into some whole other thing. I can't find it right now. I'll probably come back again later. But he said something about women babbling, right? That's what triggered me. So anyway, let's go down to my comment, because, dude, okay, so young men when he said, and I wrote a whole fucking book, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I wrote a whole fucking book. I was like, should I do a video or should I write a book? I just said, let me write a little short story. Young man, when he said he was fiery like you, he meant he was full of energy and knowledge correlating with the time. Back in the day when the Black Panther Party was breathing, Black people were starved, discriminated against, beaten on a regular basis, and they only had each other. That's the difference in that time versus today. Although the party existed, they were still outsmarted and infiltrated by one of their own, a Black man, right? All of the members of the Black Panther Party were young. It was a requirement in order to join. There was an age limit. They did have a 30-year-old, 31-year-old, different things of that nature. But even Angela Davis, I think she was only 25 when she joined the Black Panther Party. The majority of the party's main characters were in their 20s and well into college, and these were college students. This is where they learn their activism and rebellion and shit like that. And I could bet you 100% it was an older Black man or some older Black people that got them into that shit. That got him into that shit. They didn't think of that shit on their own. Ain't no 19-year-old Black man thinking about fighting the cops and revolution and different things of that nature. It usually comes from an older Black people who don't want to ruin their job, who don't want to ruin their finances, who don't want to be out in the public eye, because they're in fear. So what they do is they get some young dumb cats to go and do it for them, right? They get some young cats to go do it for them. I think the youngest member was 16, and then he was killed when he was 17. Stupid. Okay. The majority of the party's main characters were in their 20s and well into college, which gave them the knowledge and mindset to establish the party. They weren't smart because they were young. They were smart because they were being educated, right? They were being educated, and also they had grew up in that starved, beaten environment where Black people only had each other, and a lot of things were going on, and hey, we want to fight. Perfect, wonderful. I don't disagree. That's what we need to do. We need to fight when something is wrong on a mass level, on a macro level. Okay. And furthermore, being young, dumb, and full of lip is what got each of them killed. Your knowledge of how old a person was when they did this or that means nothing if you had no real wisdom while doing it. And remember, when you open your mouth to say all women do is babble, remember the Underground Railroad, remember the back of the bus, and the feminist movement. In addition, the party's sisterhood was not known for babbling. It was some smart babbling that brought you into this world, sir. But then, in the other video, he goes, my mom is this, my mom is that, my mom. And son, you're embarrassing your mama if you say she's all of these things. You did not win any battles on that platform. What you displayed was out of control emotions, immaturity, disrespect, and poor listening skills. And might I add, you were on this platform talking about Anton Daniels and Corey Holcomb too. You needed to be heard so bad that you couldn't even let that man talk and get his point across as he gave you the opportunity to do. Now let's do a bit of history telling on the Black Panther Party, being that they were young, and this is pretty much what you're bragging about, being young and I'm smarter than a lot of these old heads, different things of that nature. They committed the same crimes back then as these young cats do today, including shootouts with the police, bank robberies, rape, and internal mishandling of funds, thievery. Right? So your knowledge is a failure at this point in time, because I wouldn't speak on shit unless it was successful or unless I was trying to say how unsuccessful it was. If this is what you're basing your age knowledge on, and that you are more educated than old heads, or whatever you want to call them, you failed to point out the fact that all of these young men back then failed miserably because they were young, inexperienced, and lacked wisdom. Okay? As I said, the same things that these young lads do till this day, it was because they were young that they failed miserably. Because with age comes the wisdom of the times and people. We do think today about what the Black Panther Party thought back then. You talk about nobody thought of MASH. Yeah, just in different ways. Hence, hands up, don't shoot, and Black Lives Matter. Now, I'm going to tell you, son, the reason why Hands Up, Don't Shoot and Black Lives Matter was so successful was because it was created by older Black women, sir, with a babble. Wake up, young man. You must show respect even if you don't think it will serve you well. You must listen even if you think the other person has nothing to say that you want to hear. Even if it forces you to learn things about your age group that you think you already know. Because showing respect for others means you respect yourself. Young age plays a huge role in crime, death, and poor decisions, only because this is when people are most vulnerable in the mind and the learning curve into older adulthood to gain independence. Calm down, we get it. I get it. Believe me, women, we get it. These older cats aren't very nice to young men of your age sometimes, and are always trying to put y'all down because y'all are pressure in competition with the ladies. It is what it is. But you can't just let anyone into your circle or go into just anyone's circle. And when you do, you should show respect for everyone's opinion. So you have a lack of respect for people. You have a lack of respect for people's opinions, and this is across the board. Always remember, plenty of people will not agree with you, say what you want them to say, or think how you want them to think. But listening is fundamental. Listen, you might learn something. If you don't, you will learn nothing. And what you learned on that platform right there obviously was nothing, because you weren't listening, and you weren't even willing to listen. You just wanted to run your mouth, run your mouth, run your mouth. Age is wisdom, and so is experience. Living longer means you've been around longer, experienced more changes, and it takes even more time to gain a full understanding of what has transpired in your life. There are certain things a young person can't teach an older person if it hasn't even been taught to them yet. Nothing on this earth is new, but there are a lot of things a man of your age has not experienced and will never experience because that time has passed and happened at a time when you were not born or old enough to realize you were experiencing it. And some things have even been wiped away. For example, you'll never be taught the same way older people were taught in grade school because it's changed. You'll never be taught the way I was taught in school, young man, because it's changed. You don't have my knowledge and my wisdom, or another man's knowledge and wisdom who went to school back in the day. We on a totally different level, young man. Y'all dumb nowadays. You're really, really dumb, right? Really dumb. I mean, from my viewpoint, for where I'm standing, right? And the only thing that's really goes that the only thing that's supposed to be saving y'all is your mother's experience, is the older people in your life, their experience, right? Listen, young man. For example, you will never be taught the same way older people were taught in grade school because it has changed. And you will never learn from the same books we learn from because they're gone. Always be humble. There's always something you can learn from an older person. I don't give a fuck if it's a bum, a woman. I don't give a fuck if they white, black, Indian. You can always learn, hence diversity. Why do you think they want diverse? They want the population to be diverse because we can learn something from everyone. But I'll tell you one fucking thing, when it comes to nursing, a lot of you young motherfuckers have fucked it up because you're young and you're inexperienced and you do not know the nursing field like it used to be. So when you think you're knowing all this stuff, sir, you don't. You only know what somebody is putting in your mind. You sound like a Marquette Devon Burton clone. That's what you sound like. You sound like a clone. Okay. Now it was I'm amazed at all these people. Damn, Ant cooked his ass. No, Ant didn't cook. He missed dinner. He didn't cook. He missed dinner. Okay. He didn't cook. He missed dinner. Right. And that's what happens when you just run your mouth. You just running your mouth. You're not listening. And then we're not gonna get on homeboy holding a rat. The guy was like, "Am I?" So we just gonna overlook the guy with the rat. But anyway, let me stop sharing that. Let me go back to this other this bullshit I woke up to this morning. So 2 hours of destroying bitter hating old men, right? Oh, let's go back to 17 minutes. Yeah, I got 17 minutes. Okay. So here we go.
Prove my point even more. I was quiet when you were.
I'm just gonna tell you. See, this young man he's functioning in unconsciousness. He doesn't realize what he's saying. He doesn't understand how everything he's saying about this man, it is actually showing on him, and he doesn't understand it. But let's go. Let's go. I'll explain.
Speaking. So I'm asking you questions. So I need you to stop interjecting. I need you to listen. I listen to you. I need you to listen to me respectfully. I don't need you to keep interjecting. I'm asking you a simple question. You old enough to know how to act like a man.
First of all, young man, the way you are talking to this older man is very disrespectful. You are not his senior. He is your senior. Your dominant behavior is very disrespectful, right? When we're talking to our seniors, we need to be talking in a inquisitive manner, right? But since you think you can't be taught anything, and since you think that you're so dominant, right? You're failing to realize your disrespectful nature, right? You are talking to him as if he's your child because this is the way your mother consistently talked to you. She did not let you get a word in edgewise. You were not heard. You were told what to do. You had no opinion. You had no choices. You were given no options. You were told what to do and you did it. This is where your behavior comes from. Your teachers failed you, the men in your life failed you, and we can tell that your mother was a single mother because where's your father, right? I hear you're mentioning your mother, but you aren't saying anything about your father. So that leads me to make the assumption that he was absent and your mother did it all by herself, right? Okay, let's go.
So let's act like men. Let's be adults and let's be respectful and let's be responsible in this conversation. So I need you to stop interjecting and I need you to listen.
Look at that. He sounds just like his mama. I need you to do exactly what I said to do. I don't want to hear any back talk. I need you to go in there and clean your room. And when I come in there, it better be done or you're going to get your ass beat.
Listen to me because I'm asking you a simple question. I'm asking you again. Do you hear that noise in the background? Yes or no?
I'm going to ask you again. Did you go in that kitchen and eat them cookies like I told you not to do?
I just said no.
Okay. And that's the problem. So for you to be a 40, you said you're 47?
I said I'm 40.
for you to be a 40-year-old man and you have toned out the fact that you have a smoke alarm beeping in the background and you don't even hear it says
he hasn't toned it out. I heard it because I'm like, mine's is going off right now. I heard it, but I was, where my train of thought went was, since he was saying how he's disrespectful to women, how Ant is disrespectful to women, I thought he was going the route of, do you hear that in the background? Like, and he's going to say no. And then Anna's going to say, see, because there's no women around, or because my woman is quiet, or because, I heard the smoke alarm because mine is going off. But I didn't think that's what he was going to say. He's going to use a little alarm to prove the point. Nigga, it's on our list, okay? It's on our list.
a lot about you as a man. Now let me finish because I was quiet when you was talking. Now you're being emotional and acting like a woman. So I need you to be quiet. So I'm gonna mute you because you're being.
No, you haven't been quiet the whole time y'all started talking. Let's back it up.
Righteous brother heading in the right path. But a lot of these women you talking to look like they old enough to be your mother, young. That's disrespectful as fuck for one.
Okay, let me respond
You
to
understand what I'm trying to say?
Let me respond to you.
He wasn't finished, and you cut him off. He wasn't finished. Slow down, calm down, so you can hear, so you can receive the message.
Let me respond.
Isn't that what Marquette does all the time? He wants you to calm down, listen, receive the message, and then I'll yield the floor. And when Marquette yields the floor, he's quiet. So obviously, if this is your mentor, he's failing you. Now, I'm not to say that, you need to run your platform how Marquette runs his platform. But if this is your mentor, he is failing you because you are failing to listen and give other people the opportunity to speak. You want to be so in control and so dominant that you're missing a whole lot, right? And here's the thing. When you're talking to, I'm going to say, the majority of Black people, you might win in the moment. You will win in the moment because a lot of times alcohol affects you long term, drug use affects you long term, and living under a rock affects you long term. So you're not able to make quick and immediate observations of things that's happening, even quick and immediate observations of the person standing in front of you. But see, and that's one of the downfalls of the Black community. We tend to jump to conclusions. We don't think through things. We don't listen, and it causes our failure. Right? It causes our failure. So, and I'm not going to say what I would have done if I was on the video. I just want to simply point out how this man is functioning in the unconscious. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
Let me respond to you. First of all, do you hear that noise in the background?
Not at all. Just you.
How old are you?
Oh, so he said, do you hear that noise in the background? So his interpretation is, yeah, it's like I said, he thought he was talking about his background, not his background. So had he said, do you hear that noise in your background? Then he probably would have said, oh yeah, that's my smoke alarm going off. But no, he was even unclear in his question. Nigga, whose background? We got two backgrounds here, mine or yours. You're the one talking, so we're under the assumption that you're talking about your background. I mean, hey, it is what it is. But this is a trick question. You see, this is a trick question, and this comes from learning slickness. This comes from learning to steal. This comes from learning to be deceptive. This comes from poor mentorship, poor parenting, and dominance over a young man by a woman. Because see, me, I give my sons options. I don't tell them what they're going to do, when they're going to do it, how they're going to do it, with no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Because decision making starts early. critical thinking skills, if that's what you're trying to instill into your child, comes early. And then one of the ways to do that is to allow them to make their own decisions, right? If they want to do something, they can do it as long as it's within reason. You aren't hurting anybody, you aren't hurting yourself. And if you don't want to do it, fucking don't do it, because I'm the same way. I don't give a fuck. Unless it's my job, something, and I have to, and there's somebody I have to listen to, and shit needs to get done, and it's brought to my attention that it needs to get done, I'm gonna fucking do it. But in my own home environment, that is where decision making started, right? If my boss says to me, Belinda, I need you to do this, okay, I'm gonna do it because my decision making skills tells me that I need to do it. In my own environment, I don't give a fuck. I'm not doing it if I don't want to do it. Kiss my ass, right? And that's the way I train my kids, the same way. In your home environment, you need to learn to make decisions. So when you go out there in public, you're making good decisions. Like I said, we all make mistakes, but we just need to learn from them. But anyway, let's go.
I'm older than you, young. I'm 40. How old you is?
I'm 27. So that's going to prove my point even more. I was quiet when you were speaking, so I'm asking you questions. So I need you to stop interjecting. I need you to listen. I listen to you. I need you to listen to me respectfully. I don't need you to keep interjecting. I'm asking you a simple question.
You see how I don't need you? Who gives a fuck what you need? What? But anyway.
You old enough to know how to act like a man, so let's act like men. Let's be adults and let's be respectful and let's be responsible in this conversation. So I need you to stop interjecting and I need you to listen to me because I'm asking you a simple question. I'm asking you again. Do you hear that noise?
I think our smoke alarms are in sync. When his go off, mine go off at the same time.
Noise in the background, yes or no?
I just said no.
Okay. And that's the problem. So for you to be a 40, you said you're 47?
I said I'm 40.
For you to be a 40-year-old man and you have toned out the fact that you have a smoke alarm beeping in the background and you don't even hear it, says a lot about you as a man. Now let me finish because I was quiet when you was talking. Now you're being emotional and acting like a woman. So I need you to be quiet. So I'm gonna mute you because you're acting like an emotional woman. Now you're getting muted. So let me explain something to you. Now you're gonna get muted again because you keep talking. You can't be quiet and operate like a man. That's your problem. As a 40-year-old man,
focusing on his fire alarm, you know what that tells me, young man? It tells me you're sensitive, right? You're sensitive to noise. And that comes from your mama yelling at you. You're sensitive. Who gives fuck that fire alarm? God damn it, ain't no goddamn fire. And if it is a fire, the motherfucker's still gonna go off. Hence, it's beeping. It's still functioning.
You have a major problem. You can't even fix your smoke alarm. So if you to be telling anybody about respect, you don't respect yourself because your smoke alarm is beeping and you have toned it out. So that tells me that number one, you're not a responsible man. Number two.
Okay, but did you ask him why he hasn't changed the battery in his smoke alarm? Have you asked him that? Do you know his circumstances? Do you know do you know anything about this man? No. Like I said in the beginning, my smoke alarm is going off. My ceilings are tall. I need a ladder. But at the end of the day, when I get home from work, I'm fucking tired. It's on my list. Okay.
Two, you're not an intelligent man. And number three, you're a poor man. And that's the worst type of man in this world. That's number one. That tells a lot about your character as a grown man. Now, the second point I'm going to make is let me ask you a question. Where have I ever disrespected Black women as a whole on my channel? Now you can talk. You're unmuted. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think I've already pointed that out in your other video, sir. You don't respect women. You don't get to pick and choose which women you respect if you respect women as a whole. I don't care. The prostitute walking down the street deserves respect because she hasn't done anything to you. Right? It doesn't matter. The old lady bum on the street deserves respect. We all deserve respect because, especially if we respect ourselves, right? talking to this man in the fashion that you're talking to him, you don't realize it's very, very disrespectful. I know this is your platform. I know you trying to, get a little, do something strange to get a little change. And, this is what is floating your boat and floating your audience's boat. But it's very disrespectful. And I can tell you, sir, there will be an end to your bullshit. There will be an end to your bullshit. And I'm just saying, nobody needs to put their hands on you, all this fight challenging and shit. And I was appalled at Marquette challenging some man to fight. I mean, who does that? Who does that? It says immaturity. We can't even come on here and have an adult conversation, without wanting to fight. I think this man was wrong by challenging him to a fight, because it means that, I can't win with my words. I'm frustrated, I'm angry, and I'm hurt. So now I want to beat you up. That's what stupidity sometimes boils down to, or when you're in a stupid state. That's what it boils down to. Your hands. I'm going to hit you to shut you up, because I can't shut you up with my words. But sir, we got to do better. We can't be talking about we're going to put our hands on these young boys, because they just need to be shown their ignorance. And you can't show them that by putting their hands on them. It's only going to make them more angry. It's only going to make them more mouthy. It's only going to make them more disrespectful. It's proven. Beating somebody up doesn't work, because they can still, if you beat them up, there's still going to be somebody that they can beat up. So that's silly. Y'all need to cut that out. Y'all better not put your hands on this young man. Period.
Yeah. You're on mute. Unmute your mic.
I got nothing to say to you, little boy.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I thought. You don't have anything to say to me, because you can't even fix your smoke alarm. I bet you're gonna.
See, the reason I say that is because he's young and dumb, and he's functioning in the unconscious. So that's not the way to bring him to consciousness. But we gonna try here.
I bet you're gonna fix that smoke alarm tonight.
I
bet you fix that smoke alarm tonight.
You would never act like this in my presence.
Oh yeah, you started bringing up your height and your weight. What you was bringing that up for?
You would never talk like this in my presence.
You started bringing up your height and your weight. What you bring that up for?
All that extra shit.
Oh no. Listen to me. You started bringing up your height and your weight. Why did you bring that up?
I sent a text before that, but you kept deleting shit.
I didn't delete anything. I don't delete no comments, brother. I don't delete no comments, my guy. I don't delete comments. YouTube deletes comments. I don't delete comments. I didn't delete anything. You said what?
Practice what you preach. Can I finish?
You said I was deleting comments. I don't delete comments. So that's a lie.
We passed that shit though. I was trying to move on.
That's fine, but don't lie on my name. I didn't delete comments, but go ahead.
I didn't know about that shit, man. Let me finish, man.
You was lying, but go ahead. I'm listening to you.
Freak beef fight. We can do this shit positive. And since you like to be on live and put them gloves on or with knuckles.
So you want to say, hold on. Okay, cool. So, okay, let's do it. Hold on. Let's do it. Okay, so look. First, I want to ask you this question, though. Outside of that, why did you bring up your height and your weight? Just answer that question. Why did you bring up your height and your weight?
I just told you. I sent the text before that saying, offering to fight as a man and squash this shit. Like,
okay,
man,
so let me. Well, this is the problem. You say you want to fight to squash what?
Yeah, to squash whatever hostility you feeling.
I don't have hostility. You have hostility. So wait, hold on. What did you say your height was?
5'11".
And how much you weigh?
On weight about 180.
So you brought that up to say like you were big and tall and you could beat me up because you were big and tall?
You called me a bitch.
No, I said you're acting like a bitch. It's a difference. It's accurate. You were acting like a bitch. Yes.
You might as well call me a bitch.
Okay, so let's do this. Before we get into the fight thing, right? Before we get into the fight thing. Hold on. Stop talking. I know you struggle with that. Before we get into the fight thing, You got to stop talking. I know you struggle with that, but let's stop talking first. Before we get into the fight thing, let's hash that out. You can't stop interjecting because you act like a woman as a grown man. That's your problem. So before you keep interjecting, I was quiet when you were speaking. I know you struggle with that. Like how your smoke alarms your smoke alarm interjects your daily routine, but you don't hear it. So you might not even hear me.
But sir, young man, you struggle with the same thing. You struggle with the same thing. Yield the floor like your mentor and let the man speak. But you don't want him to say what he wants to say or what he needs to say, because this is what a person does when they're running from embarrassment. He doesn't want to be embarrassed. He doesn't want the man to get a viral moment. He doesn't want to be disrespected the same way he's being disrespectful. He's running from embarrassment. He doesn't want to hear what the man has to say, like he did in the other video. He didn't want his age challenged. He didn't want his knowledge challenged because he can't handle it. He cannot handle it. He can't handle what somebody else is going to say about him because he has a fear of the unknown. Period.
Speak it, but I need you to calm down and let's have a conversation as men. Act like an adult. So number one, before we get into the fight thing, he can't stop talking, y'all. He acts like this is a 40-year-old man, by the way. He can't even sit still. Look at him. He can't even sit still. He a 40-year-old man.
Stop looking for validation, clown.
Okay, so you gonna stop talking so I can finish?
Man.
Huh? You done talking now? Okay, good. So before we get into the fight thing, let's hold that off once we finish the conversation. Let's get on the intellectual tip first, and then let's talk about the fight thing. Okay. So you said, because I want to make sure we get on that. I don't want that comment to go to waste. So we're gonna get on that. So let's hold the fight thing right now. So now let's talk about how you said that I disrespect Black women, right? You said that, right?
Explaining Black women did on your channel.
Okay. So where on my channel have I ever disrespected Black women as a whole?
No, sir. It's not as a whole. It's not as a whole. You say little snide remarks about women. It's very disrespectful. It's very disrespectful because you're in the unconscious. So you do not understand the magnitude of what you're saying when you say it. You do not understand your slick mouth. And that's probably one of the things your mother had to correct you on too, your slick mouth. I'm just pointing out how kids are because I've raised them.
You just put up a video 9 hours ago. The woman wasn't cussy. She didn't use no profanity. She didn't yell at you, raise her voice. You got in your feelings and felt like she was cutting you off and muted her and said, "Shut the fuck up." Nigga, that's somebody.
Yeah, like I told you.
Hold on, I wasn't even done talking.
You see that? He didn't like it. He couldn't handle that. He couldn't handle being told where he was wrong at. Nigga, like I told you. Point proven. He cannot handle it. He cannot handle somebody telling him about himself and showing and proving what he did. Nigga, like I told you, now you deflecting. Instead of saying, oh, you felt like that. Well, let me explain to you why I said this, why I said what I said to the lady that was on my platform. You immediately deflected to cause an argument, to shut this man down from telling you about your little slick mouth. And you interjected and you cut him off and you didn't let him finish saying what he was saying. You're a hypocrite. You're functioning in the unconscious.
I don't cut you, so I didn't cut you off no more.
Go ahead, finish.
If that was your mother, honestly, First of all, do you have a relationship with your mother?
Absolutely. My mother has a video on this channel. Absolutely. Love my mom.
A man talking like that to your mother, what's your first response if you ever run into that man or see that man and have a conversation?
Well, let me explain something to you. My mother is.
No, you didn't ask the question. It don't matter, because just as much as you men go out here disrespecting the women in the grocery store because they don't want to give you their number, telling them fuck you, different things of that nature, and they didn't do shit to the man, what if that happened to your mother? We don't give a fuck about how nice your mother is. We don't give a fuck about how feminine your mother is. We don't give a fuck about how good mother she is. If your mama was walking down the street or at the grocery store or at the gas station, at the bank, at the post office, wherever the fuck she was, minding her own goddamn business, and some nigga came and approached her and tried to get her number, and she politely declined, then he went in to start calling her all kind of bitches and hoes and ugly bald-headed bitches, what would you do? Because see, the fact of the matter is that we all love our mamas. We don't give a shit if she burnt us with a goddamn iron. We don't give a shit if she slapped us upside the head 17 times in one sitting. We don't give a fuck if she starved us. We don't give a fuck if we had holy tennis shoes. We don't give a fuck if our pants was flooding. We don't give a fuck about none of that. Don't disrespect my mother. And that's what a lot of you niggas fail to realize. Unless you talking to a woman, and then not even unless, it's still somebody's sister, it's still somebody's cousin, it's still somebody's auntie, it's still somebody's grandmother, it's still somebody when it comes to a woman. So why are you even out here fixing your mouth to disrespect them? And 9 times out of 10, it's because these niggas can't get no pussy like they feel they're entitled to. So that we didn't ask to hear about your mama, because you, of course, you gonna put your mama on the pedestal. You gonna make her seem like the all to be all. But we can tell how your mama was because we looking at you and we hearing you and we seeing and hearing and listening what's coming out your mouth, which means somewhere along the lines, your mama failed you. And even till this day, the people in your life are continuing to fail you, young man.
As a woman of let me respond to you. So you need to be quiet. When someone is speaking, you ask a question, you have to be quiet. I know you struggle with that, like a smoke alarm, but let's finish. Let me finish my point. So my mother is a woman of
still being disrespectful, still taking jabs. Right? Still taking jabs. Okay.
Intelligence. My mother is a woman of femininity. My mother is a woman of logic, and my mother is a woman of integrity. So my mother doesn't have these issues with men. So when my mother knows how to speak when other men are talking, my mother is a woman who used to drop me off at the barbershop when I was young, and the whole barbershop would stop talking. You know why? Because a feminine woman walked in. So when the whole barbershop of 30 men are talking about LeBron and cussing and talking about women, that whole entire conversation, because it's the power of femininity, ladies, that whole entire conversation stops because the men in the room say, hey, fellas.
It ain't no fucking power of femininity. It's respect for a woman. They don't know whether you know if a woman is feminine or not. You still supposed to not offend her by continuing a disgusting conversation. I could put on a mini skirt and a halter top, and I'm just as masculine as ever, but you'll never know that. Why? Until I open my fucking mouth.
A feminine woman just walked in, not that verbatim, but you know what I mean. A woman walked in. Let's calm down the energy. My woman doesn't my mother doesn't operate like that. My mother operates like a woman. See, that's the difference between you and maybe the women that you deal with or your mother, because my mother doesn't operate like that. My mother operates with integrity, peace, class. My mother is very classy. My mother is a bougie woman. So maybe that's where I get it from. See, that's the difference. You expect women to operate in a way because you're used to dealing with masculine women.
Oh, you just said you act like a woman. you act like a woman. That's where you get it from. He get it from his mama. He get it from you just see, like I told you, he's functioning in the unconscious. You just described your mother as feminine, classy, bougie, functioning with integrity, and you just said maybe that's where I get it from. You can't make this shit up. You are sassy, sir, and bougie and feminine like your mother. All you gotta do is let him talk. All you have to do is let him talk. Just let him talk. He just said he was like, so shit. But that's a mic drop right there. Why are we even still having this discussion? It's a mic drop. It's a mic drop. You're functioning in your femininity like your mother. I mean, damn. If he didn't just cut his nose off to spite his face. Wow.
Because you're a feminine man. And you're clearly a feminine man because no man of value and masculinity, number one, will have a smoke alarm beeping all day long and can't even hear it. And it takes a 27-year-old man to tell you that. Number two, you're 40 years old smoking a vape pen. You know what this is? It's called a cigar. This is what men smoke. Grown men don't smoke vape pens. That's number two. Number three, you can't stop interjecting and cutting me off because you operate like a woman. There's a lot of femininity inside of you. No, that's number three. Number four. This is again, you're operating in femininity right now because you can't stop talking. You can't stop talking. You struggle to talk. See, this is the feminine energy that you have. Number five, you have a nose ring in your nose. So we are seeing the masculine man be uncovered in a sense of like the masculine man is now being under attack because you have men like this, fellas and ladies, that operate in society today.
Okay, now here's where we get into it, and then I got to go. He said, number one, you smoking you got your alarm, your smoke detector going off. I mean, nigga, shit happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's probably a million other motherfuckers with a beeping alarm. Okay, that's not an anomaly. That's not a fucking isolated incident, as evidenced by mine's going off. Right now, and that no way, shape, or form shapes my character or who I am as a woman and how responsible I am. Okay. Now, here's the thing. You think you know what a man does. Your mentor has failed you. Your mentor has failed you because your mentor, Marquette, does not drink, so he says, does not smoke. All we see him drinking is water, clean, sober living and doesn't put any impurities in his body. But yet and still, you are on here smoking the nastiest thing in the world, which is a fucking cigar. And you are proclaiming that that's what men do. No, boo, that's what a lot of people do. Okay? That in no shape, form, or fashion defines your manhood, smoking a cigar. Bottom line is, you both are smoking. Now, you had your little barbershop story, and you just really want to sit here and you just really want to degrade this man. But son, you don't even look like you picked your hair out. You do not even look like you got up this morning and did any self-care, as evidenced by your hair. Sir, when's the last time you've been to the barbershop because your edge up is fucked up? So maybe your mama needs to come get you and drop you off at the barbershop today and get your shit lined up. And you know what I'm saying? Get you a little self-care going on, right? Furthermore, you're talking about this man has a nose ring, sir, and you have two, not one, two piercings in your ear, just like a bitch, sir. This is what I said this is what I meant when I said this man is functioning in the unconscious. The same shit that this man is doing, you are doing 10 times worse. My son don't have no piercing in his ears. My 12-year-old doesn't have any piercings in his ears. My 34-year-old, he pierces his own goddamn ears. Okay. Your mama probably pierced your ear, one of your ears at least, or she might have pierced both of them. Who fuck knows? She probably pierced your ears and didn't even give you an option of whether you wanted your ears pierced or not. My daughters, they didn't get their ears pierced at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months, year, 2 years. No. I waited until they made the decision whether they wanted their ears pierced or not, because I'm against inflicting any type of pain on children unless they ask for it. Okay? Piercing the ears is very traumatizing to a child, just like circumcision is. Okay? So, sir, you look unkept. You look feminine with both of those earrings in your ears. You are smoking cigars and you look unkept. This is what I mean when I say he is functioning in the unconscious, because everything you're saying about this man, it applies to you as well. The people in your life are failing you, and they're failing to bring to your attention what you're doing because they scared of your mouth. They don't want to make you feel bad. They think this is cool, the way you disrespect people. They think this is cool because you're supposedly presenting yourself in such a bougie manner. Sir, what you're saying and what we see in don't match. How dare you try to call out this man's faults when you have the same faults? You are currently doing the same shit that this man is doing. And you even said you get it from your mama. You can't make this shit up. You cannot make this shit up. Y'all better tell this young man, y'all better quit being scared of his mouth. And tell this motherfucker what the fuck he doing, how disrespectful he is, and he need to tone that shit down, and he need to go back. He need to find a different fucking mentor, because nigga, that ain't it. That is not it, sir. And you are an embarrassment to your mother. Bless her soul. But we can see how you were raised, sir. And that comes with experience of raising a child and seeing other children being raised alongside of your children. You have no life experience. You were sheltered. You were put in line by your mother. And now that you are in control of your own life, you are out of control. See, that's what happens when you don't raise your children to allow them to make decisions. This is what happens when you don't give them choices. This is what happens when you don't listen to them. This is what happens when you, as a mother, when you dominate them. This is the results. You get a disrespectful, unconscious functioning, disrespectful young man. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. And then he goes so far as to describe his mother as a feminine woman, and then says this must be where he gets it from. Nigga, y'all failing this young man. Y'all failing this young man. And then has the audacity. I gotta go, y'all. I'm done. I would just be babbling at this point because my point has already been proven. Sir, go get your little edge up. You know what I'm saying? Take them earrings out your ears. Put the tobacco down if you trying to, present yourself in a certain fashion. Cause what you doing right now is not working. And I'm out of here.